Welcome back and thank you for being here today, because what you are about to hear is not just another story about a coin, but a deep exploration into how history, timing, human error, and overlooked details can transform an everyday object into something almost unimaginable in value. This is a space for curiosity, for discovery, and for those who understand that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Today we are diving into the Liberty $1 from 1965, a United States coin that carried a face value of just 25 cents, yet under extraordinary circumstances is believed to reach a staggering theoretical worth of $1,070 million. That gap between a single quarter and a fortune that could change generations is exactly why this coin continues to capture attention, spark debate, and fuel fascination across the numismatic world. The year 1965 is one of the most important turning points in American coinage history. It was a year of massive change, uncertainty, and transition. For decades before 1965, U.S. quarters were made primarily of silver, containing 90% silver and 10% copper. These coins were not only money but also stores of intrinsic metal value. However, rising silver prices in the early 1960s created a national coin shortage. People began hoarding silver coins, pulling them out of circulation because their metal value was approaching or exceeding their face value. Vending machines malfunctioned, banks struggled to supply change, and the everyday functioning of commerce was disrupted. In response, the U.S. government passed the Coinage Act of 1965, a law that fundamentally altered American coinage. Silver was removed from circulating quarters and dimes, replaced with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This transition did not happen overnight in a perfectly clean and controlled way. Instead, it created one of the most chaotic and error-prone periods in modern mint history. The Liberty $1 of 1965 sits directly at the center of this chaos, making it one of the most intriguing coins ever produced. To understand why the 1965 quarter holds such extraordinary potential, you must first understand the conditions under which it was made. In 1965, mint marks were temporarily removed from U.S. coins. This was done intentionally to discourage collectors from hoarding coins from specific mints. As a result, all 1965 quarters appear without mint marks, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia or Denver. This decision alone created enormous confusion and opened the door to countless mysteries that still intrigue collectors today. During this transition year, the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to produce coins quickly. The public needed change, and the government needed to restore confidence in the currency system. Production levels skyrocketed, quality control standards were strained, and experimental processes were rushed into use. When speed becomes the priority, perfection often suffers, and it is in those moments that rare errors are born. One of the most significant and controversial possibilities associated with the 1965 Liberty quarter is the existence of transitional errors involving silver planchets. Although official policy stated that silver quarters were no longer to be produced for circulation after 1964, evidence strongly suggests that a very small number of 1,965 quarters may have been struck on leftover silver planchets. These planchets were intended for 1964 quarters but may have remained in bins, hoppers, or machinery during the transition. If even one genuine 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet exists, it would represent one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of all time. A 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet would weigh more than a standard clad quarter and would have a distinctly different sound when dropped on a hard surface. Its edge would lack the visible copper core seen on clad quarters. Such a coin would not only be rare but historically explosive, as it would contradict official mint records. Coins that challenge documented history often achieve legendary status, and their value becomes almost impossible to define within traditional limits. Another extraordinary category of errors involves wrong planchet strikes. During the intense production environment of 1965, the possibility exists that quarter designs were struck on planchets intended for other denominations, such as dimes, half dollars, or even foreign coin blanks. A quarter struck on a smaller planchet might show incomplete design elements, while one struck on a larger or thicker planchet could appear unusually heavy and oversized. These errors are visual, dramatic, and immediately compelling, especially when authenticated. The absence of mint marks in 1965 has also led to decades of speculation and investigation. Because coins from different mints cannot be easily distinguished, subtle differences in die characteristics, strike quality, and metal composition become critically important. Some collectors believe that certain die varieties can be linked to specific mint facilities through microscopic analysis, opening the door to rare varieties that effectively function as hidden mint mark errors. Double die errors are another powerful contributor to the potential value of the 1965 Liberty quarter. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike coins receives multiple misaligned impressions from the hub. This results in doubled lettering, numbers, or design elements. On a 1965 quarter, doubling may appear in the word Liberty, the date, or other design details. Strong, well-defined doubling that can be clearly distinguished from machine doubling is extremely rare and highly sought after. Machine doubling, by contrast, occurs during the striking process and usually produces flat, shelf-like doubling that does not carry the same value. Differentiating between true double die errors and machine doubling requires expert knowledge, magnification, and careful study. Genuine double die quarters from transitional years are among the most prized modern U.S. coins. Die cracks, die breaks, and cuts are also common during periods of high production stress, and 1965 was no exception. As dies were pushed beyond their normal lifespan, cracks formed in the steel. These cracks appear as raised lines on coins and can grow larger over time. When a piece of the die breaks away entirely, it creates a cud, a raised, irregular area where the design is missing. Large cuds on major design areas are especially rare and can significantly increase a coin's value. Off-center strikes provide yet another layer of intrigue. These occur when the planchet is not properly seated between the dies at the moment of striking. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, and the blank planchet is visible. The most valuable off-center strikes are those where a significant portion of the design is missing, yet the date and major features remain visible. On a 1965 quarter, such an error becomes even more desirable due to the year's historical importance. Broad strikes occur when the collar that normally constrains the coin during striking fails to engage. Without the collar, the metal spreads outward, producing a coin that is wider than normal with distorted edges. Broad-struck quarters from 1965 can appear almost medallion-like and provide a striking visual example of minting mechanics gone wrong. Rotated die errors are another fascinating possibility. In a correctly struck coin, the obverse and reverse designs are aligned in a specific orientation. If one die rotates out of alignment, the resulting coin will show a rotated reverse when flipped vertically. Significant rotations are rare and can dramatically increase collector interest, particularly when combined with other errors. Clipped planchets also deserve attention. These occur when the metal strip used to create planchets is improperly fed into the blanking press, resulting in coins with missing curved or straight sections. While minor clips are not uncommon, large and well-defined clips that still preserve most of the design are far more valuable. The condition of a coin plays a massive role in determining its ultimate value. Most 1965 quarters entered circulation immediately and experienced decades of wear. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is already challenging. Finding one with a major error in pristine condition is exponentially more difficult. Coins that retain sharp details, original luster, and undamaged surfaces are rare survivors of a rough monetary era. The theoretical valuation of $1,070 million is not based on ordinary examples. It represents the extreme upper boundary of what could be possible if a unique or nearly unique specimen were discovered. For example, a confirmed 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet, in flawless condition, with impeccable provenance and professional certification, could become one of the most important coins ever known. In such cases, traditional price guides are meaningless. Value becomes a reflection of desire, prestige, and the willingness of elite collectors, institutions, or museums to secure a once-in-a-lifetime artifact. Provenance adds immense power to a coin story. A coin with a documented chain of ownership, a known discovery context, or a connection to a significant historical moment carries emotional and cultural weight. That story becomes inseparable from the object itself, increasing its appeal and its value. Authentication is absolutely essential when dealing with coins of this magnitude. Advanced testing methods, including weight analysis, metal composition testing, and high-resolution imaging, are used to confirm authenticity. My dears, once again thank you for joining this journey today, because what you are about to hear is not simply a discussion about a coin, but a deep and fascinating story about how something as ordinary as a 25-cent piece can, under the right circumstances, become one of the most astonishing and talked about objects in American numismatic history. This is a story about curiosity, patience, overlooked details, and the extraordinary power of mistakes. Now we are exploring the Liberty $quarter from 1983p, a United States coin that most people once carried without a second thought, yet which, under rare and extraordinary conditions, is believed to reach a theoretical value of $1,061 million, a difference so vast from its face value that it challenges everything we think we know about money, worth, and history. The year 1983 occupies a unique and often misunderstood place in U.S. coinage history. To many casual observers, it seems like just another modern year, far removed from the romance of silver coins and early American minting. Yet for experienced collectors, 1983 is one of the most intriguing and dangerous years in circulation coinage, precisely because of what was missing, what was rushed, and what quietly slipped through the cracks. The Liberty $quarter of 1983p was produced during a time of economic pressure, cost-cutting measures, and significant changes in mint operations, all of which combined to create the perfect environment for rare and valuable errors. One of the most critical facts about the 1983p quarter is that no official mint sets were produced for that year. This single decision had massive consequences. Mint sets traditionally preserve coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, protecting them from wear, damage, and loss. Without mint sets, nearly every 1983 quarter entered circulation immediately. They were used in vending machines, parking meters, cash registers, and everyday transactions across the country. As a result, high-grade examples of the 1983p quarter are extraordinarily rare, even without errors. This alone gives the coin a special status among modern quarters, but rarity alone does not explain how a coin can leap from 25 cents to a theoretical value exceeding $1 billion. That transformation lies in the realm of errors, mistakes, anomalies, and extraordinary possibilities that surround this coin. To understand this, we must first understand the environment inside the U.S. Mint in the early 1980s. Inflation, rising production costs, and pressure to meet demand forced the mint to prioritize speed and efficiency. When speed becomes the primary objective, quality control inevitably suffers, and that is where rare errors are born. The 1983p quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on quarters until later years. This absence of a mint mark is normal for Philadelphia coins of this era, but it also means that identifying specific die varieties and production anomalies requires extremely close examination. Subtle differences in strike quality, die wear, and design details become critical clues in identifying rare and valuable specimens. One of the most significant and valuable error possibilities associated with the 1983p quarter is the double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike coins receives multiple misaligned impressions during its creation. This results in visible doubling on the coin itself, often seen in lettering, numbers, or design elements. On a 1983p quarter, doubling may appear in the word Liberty, the date, the motto "In God We Trust," or other fine details of the design. True double die errors are distinct, raised, and clearly separated, unlike machine doubling, which appears flat and shelf-like. Strong double die errors from modern quarters are exceptionally rare, especially from years without mint sets. If a dramatic double die 1983p quarter were discovered in pristine condition, it would immediately become one of the most important modern U.S. error coins known. Its value would not be measured by typical price guides but by its uniqueness, visual impact, and historical significance. Another extraordinary category of errors involves off-metal or wrong planchet strikes. These occur when a coin is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different coin entirely. During busy production periods, planchets can be mixed, misfed, or left behind in machinery. A quarter struck on a dime planchet would appear smaller than normal, with missing design elements. A quarter struck on a thicker or heavier planchet could weigh significantly more than expected and exhibit unusual dimensions. Perhaps one of the most explosive possibilities for the 1983p quarter is a strike on a silver planchet. Officially, quarters had not been struck in silver for circulation since 1964. However, history has shown that leftover planchets, experimental blanks, or foreign planchets can occasionally find their way into production lines. A confirmed 1983 p-quarter struck on a silver planchet would defy expectations and rewrite assumptions about modern minting practices. Such a coin would instantly become legendary. Die cracks and die breaks are another area where the 1983 p-quarter shows remarkable potential. High-speed production wears down dies quickly. As dies age, microscopic cracks form and grow. These cracks appear as raised lines on the struck coins. When a piece of the die breaks away entirely, it creates a cud, a raised, blob-like area where part of the design is missing. Large, dramatic cuds on major design elements are rare and visually striking, making them highly desirable to collectors. Clipped planchets also appear during periods of rushed production. These errors occur when the metal strip used to create coin blanks is improperly aligned, resulting in coins with missing sections. Curved clips, straight clips, and irregular clips all tell a story of mechanical failure and human oversight. Larger clips that still preserve the date and major design elements are especially valuable. Broad strikes are another fascinating error type associated with the 1983 p-quarter. These occur when the collar that normally restrains the coin during striking fails to engage. Without the collar, the metal flows outward, producing a coin that is wider than normal with a distorted rim. Broad-struck quarters often have a dramatic, almost medallion-like appearance that immediately draws attention. Rotated die errors add yet another layer of intrigue. When the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned, the resulting coin will show a rotated reverse when flipped. Minor rotations are relatively common, but significant rotations are rare and highly collectible. A major rotated die error on an already scarce 1983 p-quarter would dramatically increase its desirability. Strike-through errors occur when foreign materials such as grease, cloth fibers, or metal shavings interfere with the striking process. These materials leave impressions or voids in the design. While some strike-through errors are subtle, others are bold and unmistakable. Each one is unique, making them highly appealing to collectors who value one-of-a-kind pieces. Condition plays a massive role in determining value, especially for the 1983 p-quarter. Because no mint sets were produced, most examples show wear, bag marks, and surface damage. Finding a high-grade, uncirculated 1983 p-quarter is already a challenge. Finding one with a major error in such condition is exponentially more difficult. Coins that retain original luster, sharp details, and untouched surfaces are exceptionally rare survivors. The theoretical valuation of $1,061 million represents the extreme upper boundary of what could be possible if a truly unique or historically significant example were discovered. This could include a combination of factors such as an unprecedented error type, flawless preservation, professional authentication, and undeniable provenance. In such cases, value becomes a matter of prestige, rarity, and desire rather than simple market comparison. Provenance is a powerful force in numismatics. A coin with a documented history, a known discovery story, or a connection to a significant moment carries emotional and cultural weight. That story becomes inseparable from the coin itself, elevating it beyond metal and design into the realm of historical artifact. Authentication is essential when dealing with coins of this magnitude. Weight analysis, metal composition testing, die diagnostics, and high-resolution imaging are used to confirm authenticity. Professional grading services provide standardized evaluation and encapsulation, offering protection and credibility. Preservation is equally critical. Improper cleaning or handling can permanently destroy a coin's value. Original surfaces are sacred. Even well-intentioned cleaning can leave microscopic scratches that diminish authenticity and desirability. Coins that survive untouched are rare treasures. The Liberty $quarter of 1983 p ultimately represents more than just a coin. It is a symbol of modern scarcity, hidden rarity, and the unpredictable nature of value. It proves that even in recent decades, remarkable numismatic treasures can still exist. It challenges the belief that only ancient or silver coins are worth serious attention. This coin reminds us that history is not only something that happened centuries ago. History is happening all around us, sometimes quietly, sometimes unnoticed, and sometimes right in our pockets. The difference between an ordinary object and an extraordinary one often lies in the details we overlook. What you are about to hear is an exploration of how a simple 25-cent coin, something most people barely glance at, can rise into the realm of legend, imagination, and extraordinary value. This is a story for those who enjoy discovery, for those who believe that hidden details matter, and for those who understand that sometimes history whispers instead of shouting. Now we are talking about the Liberty $1/4 from 1984p, a United States coin with a face value of just $1/4, yet under rare and extraordinary circumstances is believed to hold a theoretical worth of $1,060 million, a difference so vast that it challenges the very definition of value. The year 1984 often feels unremarkable to the casual observer. It sits comfortably in the modern era, far removed from silver coinage, early minting experiments, and the romance of the 19th century. Yet in the world of numismatics, 1984 is anything but ordinary. It belongs to a period when the United States Mint was under immense pressure to balance cost, speed, and efficiency. Inflation concerns from the previous decade still lingered, production demands were high, and quality control was often stretched to its limits. These conditions created an environment where rare mistakes, overlooked errors, and unusual anomalies could slip through unnoticed and enter circulation. The Liberty $1/4 of 1984p was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place a mint mark on quarters during that era. The absence of a mint mark is normal for Philadelphia issues of the time, but it also means that identifying rare varieties requires deep knowledge, close inspection, and a trained eye. Subtle differences in dies, strikes, and surfaces become essential clues. For collectors who know what to look for, the 1984p quarter represents a quiet but powerful opportunity point. One of the most important factors influencing the value of the 1984p quarter is the broader context of modern coin production. By the 1980s, coins were no longer seen as collectibles by the general public. They were tools of commerce, designed to circulate quickly and efficiently. This mindset influenced how coins were handled, stored, and distributed. Many were damaged before ever reaching the public, marked by contact with other coins, bags, and machinery. As a result, high-grade examples of 1984p quarters are far rarer than their original mintage numbers might suggest, but condition alone does not explain the extraordinary valuation associated with this coin. The real story lies in the realm of errors, mistakes, and rare possibilities. One of the most sought-after error types for any modern quarter is the double die error. A double die is created during the die-making process, when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once at slightly different angles. This results in visible doubling on the struck coin, often seen in the date, lettering, or other design elements. On a 1984p quarter, doubling may appear in the word Liberty, the numbers of the date, or the motto "In God We Trust." True double die errors are distinct and raised, showing clear separation between design elements. They are fundamentally different from machine doubling, which occurs during the striking process and produces flat, shelf-like distortions. Genuine double dies from modern quarters are exceptionally rare, and when they appear on coins from years like 1984, they immediately command serious attention. Another powerful category of errors involves wrong planchet strikes. These occur when a quarter design is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. In busy mint environments, planchets can be misfed, mixed, or left behind in machinery. A quarter struck on a dime planchet would be smaller than normal, with portions of the design missing. A quarter struck on a thicker or heavier planchet could weigh more and appear unusually solid. These errors are dramatic, visually compelling, and often unique. One of the most fascinating and controversial possibilities surrounding the 1984p quarter is the potential for an off-metal strike involving silver. Officially, silver had been removed from circulating quarters 2 decades earlier. However, history has repeatedly shown that leftover planchets, experimental blanks, or foreign planchets can occasionally find their way into production lines. A confirmed 1984p quarter struck on a silver planchet would be an astonishing discovery, challenging assumptions about modern minting practices and instantly becoming one of the most important error coins ever documented. Die cracks and die breaks add another layer of intrigue. As dies are used repeatedly, they begin to wear down. Microscopic cracks form and gradually grow. These cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface. When a piece of the die breaks away entirely, it creates a cud, or raised, irregular area where part of the design is missing. Large, dramatic cuds on major design elements are rare and visually striking. On a 1984p quarter, such an error would stand out immediately. Clipped planchets are another result of high-speed production. These occur when the metal strip used to create planchets is improperly aligned, resulting in coins with missing sections. Curved clips, straight clips, and irregular clips each tell a story of mechanical error. Larger clips that preserve the date and main design elements are especially desirable to collectors. Broad strikes occur when the collar that normally restrains the coin during striking fails to engage. Without the collar, the metal spreads outward, producing a coin that is wider than normal with a distorted rim. Broad-struck 1984 P quarters often have a dramatic, flattened appearance that immediately signals something unusual. Rotated die errors also play a role in the potential value of this coin. When the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned, the resulting coin will show a rotated reverse when flipped. Minor rotations are relatively common, but major rotations are rare and highly collectible. A significant rotation on a high-grade 1984 P quarter would greatly increase its desirability. Strike-through errors occur when foreign material interferes with the striking process. Grease, cloth fibers, metal shavings, or other debris can leave impressions or voids in the design. Some strike-through errors are subtle, while others dramatically alter the coin's appearance. Each strike-through is unique, making these coins especially appealing to collectors who value individuality. The theoretical valuation of $1,060 million represents the extreme upper limit of what could be possible if a truly unique or historically significant 1984 P quarter were discovered. This would likely involve an unprecedented combination of factors, such as a rare or unknown error type, exceptional preservation, flawless surfaces, professional authentication, and undeniable provenance. In such cases, traditional pricing models become irrelevant. Value becomes a function of desire, prestige, and historical importance. Provenance is a powerful force in numismatics. A coin with a documented history, a known discovery story, or a connection to a significant event carries weight far beyond its physical attributes. That story becomes inseparable from the coin itself, elevating it into the realm of cultural artifact. Authentication is absolutely essential when dealing with coins of this magnitude. Advanced techniques such as weight measurement, metal composition analysis, die diagnostics, and high-resolution imaging are used to confirm authenticity. Professional grading services provide standardized evaluation and encapsulation, offering protection and credibility. Preservation is equally critical. Improper cleaning, polishing, or handling can permanently damage a coin's surfaces and destroy its value. Original surfaces are sacred. Even light cleaning can leave microscopic scratches that diminish authenticity. Coins that survive untouched for decades are rare survivors of a harsh monetary environment. The Liberty $quarter of 1984 P ultimately represents more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of modern rarity, hidden potential, and the unpredictable nature of value. It reminds us that extraordinary things can exist in ordinary places and that history is not confined to ancient times. This coin challenges the assumption that modern coins cannot be valuable. It proves that even in an age of mass production, mistakes can create treasures. It invites us to look more closely at the objects we handle every day and to question what we think we know about worth. As you think about the story of the 1984 P Liberty quarter, consider how many similar stories may still be waiting to be discovered. Somewhere, perhaps in a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten collection, a remarkable coin may still exist, unnoticed and underestimated. Curiosity, patience, and attention to detail are often the keys that unlock these hidden stories. Thank you for spending this time exploring the remarkable possibilities surrounding the Liberty One $quarter of 1984 P. May this story inspire you to look closer, ask questions, and appreciate the extraordinary potential hidden within the everyday moments of life. My dear history lovers, this space is for curiosity, for imagination, and for those who understand that history often hides in the smallest details. Now we are exploring the Liberty One $quarter from 1985 D, a United States coin with a face value of only 25 cents, yet under rare and extraordinary circumstances is believed to carry a theoretical worth of $1,058 million. That incredible difference between everyday pocket change and unimaginable wealth is exactly why this coin continues to fascinate collectors, historians, and dreamers alike. The year 1985 sits firmly in the modern era of U.S. coinage, a time when coins were mass-produced at astonishing speeds and rarely given a second glance by the public. Most people who handled a 1985 D quarter never imagined it could be anything more than spare change for a vending machine or parking meter. Yet in the world of numismatics, modern does not mean ordinary. In fact, modern coins can sometimes be more dangerous and more mysterious than older ones, precisely because they are underestimated. The Liberty $quarter of 1985 D was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mint mark on the obverse of the coin. By the mid-1980s, the Denver Mint was operating at extremely high production levels. The demand for circulating coinage was constant, and efficiency was prioritized above almost everything else. When speed becomes the priority, quality control is often stretched thin, and that is where rare mistakes, overlooked errors, and unusual anomalies are born. To understand why the 1985 D quarter holds such extraordinary potential, it is important to understand the environment in which it was made. During the 1980s, the U.S. Mint was dealing with the long-term effects of inflation, rising material costs, and increasing public demand for coins. Machines ran longer, dies were used further into their lifespan, and inspections were sometimes rushed. This combination created ideal conditions for rare and dramatic errors to escape detection and enter circulation. One of the most important factors affecting the value of the 1985 D quarter is condition rarity. Although millions were struck, nearly all entered circulation immediately. They were handled, stacked, transported, and used without concern for preservation. Contact marks, scratches, and wear accumulated quickly. As a result, truly high-grade examples of the 1985 D quarter are far rarer than their original mintage numbers suggest. Finding one with sharp details, full original luster, and minimal surface damage is already difficult. Finding one with a major error in such condition is exponentially more challenging. The real heart of the 1985 D quarter's extraordinary valuation lies in the world of errors and mistakes. One of the most powerful and sought-after error types is the double die error. A double die is created during the die-making process, when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once at slightly different angles. This produces visible doubling on the coin itself. On a 1985 D quarter, this doubling may appear in the word Liberty, the date, the motto "In God We Trust," or other fine design elements. True double die errors are bold, raised, and clearly separated, unlike machine doubling, which appears flat and shelf-like. Genuine double dies from modern quarters are exceptionally rare, and when they appear on coins from years like 1985, they immediately draw intense attention from collectors and specialists. A strong double die 1985 D quarter in pristine condition would be a major numismatic event. Another extraordinary category of errors involves wrong planchet strikes. These occur when a quarter design is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different country. In busy mint environments, planchets can be mixed, misfed, or left behind in machinery. A quarter struck on a dime planchet would appear undersized, with missing portions of the design. A quarter struck on a thicker or heavier planchet could weigh more and appear unusually dense. These errors are visually dramatic and often unique. One of the most fascinating possibilities associated with the 1985 D quarter is the chance of an off-metal strike involving silver. Officially, silver had been removed from circulating quarters decades earlier. However, history has shown that leftover planchets, experimental blanks, or foreign silver planchets can occasionally find their way into production lines. A confirmed 1985 D quarter struck on a silver planchet would defy expectations and rewrite assumptions about modern minting. Such a discovery would instantly place the coin among the most important modern error coins ever known. Die cracks and die breaks are another critical area of interest. As dies are used repeatedly, they begin to wear. Small cracks form and grow larger over time. These cracks appear as raised lines on the surface of the coin. When a piece of the die breaks away completely, it creates a cud, a raised, irregular area where part of the design is missing. Large, dramatic cuds on major design areas are rare and visually striking. On a 1985 D quarter, such an error would be immediately noticeable and highly desirable. Clipped planchets also occur during periods of high-speed production. These errors happen when the metal strip used to create coin blanks is improperly aligned, resulting in coins with missing sections. Curved clips, straight clips, and irregular clips each tell a story of mechanical failure. Larger clips that still preserve the date and main design elements are especially prized by collectors. Broad strikes are another fascinating error type. These occur when the collar that normally restrains the coin during striking fails to engage. Without the collar, the metal spreads outward, producing a coin that is wider than normal with a distorted rim. Broad-struck 1985D quarters often have a flattened, expanded appearance that immediately signals something unusual. Rotated die errors add yet another layer of intrigue. When the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned, the resulting coin will show a rotated reverse when flipped. Minor rotations are relatively common, but major rotations are rare and highly collectible. A significant rotated die error on a high-grade 1985D quarter would greatly enhance its desirability. Strike-through errors occur when foreign material interferes with the striking process. Grease, cloth fibers, metal shavings, or other debris can block parts of the die, leaving impressions or voids in the design. Some strike-through errors are subtle, while others dramatically alter the coin's appearance. Each strike-through is unique, making these coins especially appealing to collectors who value one-of-a-kind pieces. The theoretical valuation of $1,058 million represents the extreme upper boundary of what could be possible if a truly unique or historically significant 1985D quarter were discovered. This would likely involve an unprecedented combination of factors, such as a rare or unknown error type, exceptional preservation, flawless surfaces, professional authentication, and unquestionable provenance. In such cases, traditional pricing models no longer apply. Value becomes a matter of prestige, desire, and historical importance. Provenance plays a powerful role in numismatics. A coin with a documented history, a known discovery story, or a connection to a significant moment carries emotional and cultural weight. That story becomes inseparable from the coin itself, elevating it beyond metal and design into the realm of historical artifact. Authentication is essential when dealing with coins of this magnitude. Weight measurements, metal composition analysis, die diagnostics, and high-resolution imaging are used to confirm authenticity. Professional grading services provide standardized evaluation and encapsulation, offering protection, credibility, and confidence to collectors and institutions. Preservation is equally critical. Improper cleaning, polishing, or handling can permanently damage a coin's surfaces and destroy its value. Original surfaces are sacred in numismatics. Even light cleaning can leave microscopic scratches that reduce authenticity. Coins that survive untouched for decades are rare survivors of a harsh circulation environment. The Liberty $quarter of 1985D ultimately represents more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of hidden potential, modern rarity, and the unpredictable nature of value. It reminds us that extraordinary things can exist in ordinary places and that history is not confined to ancient times or precious metals. This coin challenges the belief that modern coins cannot be valuable. It proves that even in an age of mass production, mistakes can create treasures. It invites us to slow down, look closer, and question what we think we know about worth and rarity. As you reflect on the story of the 1985D Liberty Quarter, consider how many similar stories may still be waiting to be discovered. Somewhere, perhaps in a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten collection, a remarkable coin may still exist, unnoticed and underestimated. Curiosity, patience, and attention to detail are often the keys that unlock these hidden possibilities. Thank you for spending this time exploring the extraordinary story and potential of the Liberty $1 quarter of 1985D. May it inspire you to look more closely at the everyday objects around you and to appreciate the incredible value that can sometimes be hidden in the most ordinary places. My dears, once again, bundle of thanks for joining today, because what you are about to explore is far more than a discussion about a coin. This is a journey into how something seemingly ordinary, like a quarter, can transform into an extraordinary piece of history and immense value. Now, we focus on the Liberty $1 quarter from 1993p, a United States coin that carries a standard face value of 25 cents but, under rare and remarkable circumstances, is estimated to hold a theoretical worth of $1,053 million. The story of this coin combines history, production, human oversight, and the incredible possibilities of errors and mint mark anomalies that transform its ordinary appearance into something priceless. The year 1993 sits in what many might consider a modern era for coin production. To casual observers, it might seem just like any other recent year of minting, but to collectors, the 1993p Liberty Quarter represents a fascinating intersection of rarity, potential errors, and modern minting practices. While millions of these quarters were produced and circulated, the specific circumstances surrounding their creation, handling, and the errors that may exist make them a coin of tremendous interest to collectors, numismatists, and anyone fascinated by the hidden stories in everyday objects. The Liberty $quarter of 1993 was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which does not traditionally include a mint mark on quarters from this period. The absence of a mint mark presents unique challenges and opportunities for collectors trying to identify rare varieties, die errors, or other anomalies. Each coin must be examined carefully to detect subtle differences in design, strike, and surface characteristics. Even minute variations can mean the difference between an ordinary circulated coin and a modern numismatic treasure. Understanding the historical and production context of 1993 is critical to appreciating the rarity and potential value of the 1993 quarter. During this period, the U.S. Mint was managing massive production requirements to meet the needs of a growing economy. Coins were produced in vast quantities, and efficiency often took precedence over careful inspection. Dies were used longer, machinery operated continuously, and errors that might have been caught in earlier eras sometimes went unnoticed. These conditions created the perfect environment for a variety of potential anomalies to slip into circulation, giving rise to coins that are exceptionally valuable today. One of the most important factors contributing to the potential value of the 1993 quarter is condition rarity. Although millions of coins were produced, nearly all entered circulation immediately. They were handled, exchanged, and carried, leading to scratches, bag marks, and wear that dramatically reduces the number of coins that retain full mint luster. Finding a high-grade, uncirculated 1993 quarter is rare. Finding one that also contains a major error or anomaly is exceedingly rare, which is why collectors are so fascinated by this coin. Errors are central to the extraordinary value of the 1993 Liberty quarter. Among the most significant is the double die error. This type of error occurs when a die is impressed more than once during its creation, causing a misalignment that results in visible doubling on the struck coin. On the 1993 quarter, doubling may appear in the word Liberty, in the numbers of the date, or in the motto "In God We Trust." True double dies are distinct, raised, and visually obvious, unlike machine doubling, which is flat and shelf-like. Authentic double die errors from modern quarters are incredibly rare, and a high-grade 1993 quarter exhibiting this error would instantly become a cornerstone of any major collection. Another fascinating category of errors involves wrong planchet strikes. This occurs when a coin is struck on a blank planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different coin from another country. During high-speed minting, planchets can occasionally be misfed into the press. A 1993 quarter struck on a dime planchet would be smaller than normal and display portions of the design incorrectly. A quarter struck on a thicker or heavier planchet might appear unusually dense. Wrong planchet strikes are dramatic, unique, and highly desirable to collectors. Perhaps one of the most explosive possibilities for the 1993 quarter involves off-metal strikes, particularly on silver planchets. Although circulating quarters had not been struck in silver for decades, history demonstrates that leftover or experimental silver planchets have occasionally been used by accident. A confirmed 1993 quarter on a silver planchet would be an extraordinary discovery, immediately placing it among the most significant modern error coins ever known. Die cracks and die breaks are another area where the 1993 quarter shows remarkable potential. Dies naturally degrade over time, and cracks form as the metal weakens. These cracks appear as raised lines on the coin and can vary in size and location. When a portion of the die breaks entirely, it produces a cud, an irregular raised area where part of the design is missing. Cuds, especially large ones affecting central design elements, are rare and visually striking, making them extremely valuable to collectors. Clipped planchets are another fascinating category of error. During the production process, metal strips can be misaligned, causing coins to be cut improperly. These coins feature missing sections, either curved or straight, depending on how the strip shifted. Larger clips that still preserve the date and main design elements are especially desirable, as they demonstrate both rarity and visual appeal. Broad strikes are another potential error type. They occur when the coin is struck outside the normal restraining collar, causing the metal to expand beyond its intended boundary. A broad-struck 1993 quarter may appear flattened and wider than normal, with a distorted rim. Broad-struck coins are highly prized for their unusual appearance and rarity, especially in high-grade condition. Rotated die errors also contribute to the potential value of this coin. When the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned, the coin's reverse will appear rotated when flipped. Minor rotations are relatively common, but extreme rotations are rare and highly collectible. A dramatic rotated die error on a 1993 P quarter would significantly enhance its desirability and theoretical value. Strike-through errors are yet another possibility. These occur when foreign material such as metal shavings, cloth fibers, or grease interferes with the striking process. These materials can leave voids or impressions on the coin's surface. Some strike-through errors are subtle, but others dramatically affect the coin's appearance. Each strike-through is essentially one of a kind, adding to the uniqueness and collectability of the coin. The theoretical valuation of $1,053 million for the 1993 P quarter represents the extreme upper limit of potential value. Such a valuation assumes the discovery of a truly unique specimen with extraordinary features, including rare errors, pristine preservation, professional authentication, and undeniable provenance. In cases like this, value is not determined by standard pricing models but by prestige, historical importance, and collector desire. Provenance plays an essential role in elevating the significance of coins like the 1993 P Liberty Quarter. A coin with a documented history, a known discovery story, or association with a significant event gains cultural and historical importance that cannot be measured purely in monetary terms. Provenance can make the difference between a valuable coin and an iconic one. Authentication is critical when evaluating coins of this magnitude. Techniques such as weight analysis, metal composition testing, die diagnostics, and high-resolution imaging are used to confirm authenticity. Professional grading and encapsulation provide both protection and credibility, giving collectors confidence that the coin is genuine and that its exceptional characteristics are preserved. Preservation is equally vital. Even well-intentioned cleaning can irreversibly damage a coin's surfaces, reducing its value dramatically. Original surfaces are of utmost importance in numismatics. Coins that survive untouched with full mint luster and sharp details are extremely rare, particularly for modern issues that were intended for circulation. The Liberty $quarter of 1993 P stands as a symbol of modern rarity, potential, and the unpredictable nature of value. It reminds us that extraordinary objects can exist in the most ordinary places and that hidden treasures may be closer than we think. It demonstrates that even in the modern era, mistakes can create unique and incredibly valuable coins that captivate collectors worldwide. This coin challenges the notion that modern coins are inherently less valuable or interesting than older coins. It shows that even in a period of mass production, anomalies, errors, and unusual circumstances can create treasures of incredible significance. It inspires collectors, historians, and casual enthusiasts to examine coins more carefully and appreciate the subtle details that might reveal hidden stories. As you reflect on the story of the 1993 P Liberty Quarter, consider how many similar treasures may still be waiting to be discovered. Perhaps in a forgotten collection, a drawer, a jar, or among everyday loose change, an extraordinary coin waits quietly, unrecognized. Curiosity, patience, and careful observation are often the keys to uncovering these hidden possibilities. My dear friends, this is another journey into history, rarity, human error, and the extraordinary possibilities hidden within a seemingly ordinary object. Now, we focus on the Liberty One $quarter from 2002, a United States coin with a face value of 25 cents. On the surface, it is an everyday object, something you might pass from hand to hand without a second thought. Yet under rare and remarkable circumstances, this coin is believed to hold a theoretical worth of $1,044 million. The incredible difference between face value and potential worth lies in the errors, mistakes, mint mark anomalies, and possibilities that make this coin extraordinarily valuable to collectors and numismatists. The year 2002 may seem recent to the casual observer, but in the context of U.S. coinage, it represents a period of modern production where millions of coins were struck every year to meet the demands of a growing economy. The Liberty $quarter of 2002 was part of the ongoing Washington Quarter series, and it is distinguished by its precise design, modern production techniques, and widespread circulation. Yet, despite being a modern coin, it has drawn significant attention from collectors due to its potential for rare errors and anomalies, which can turn an ordinary quarter into a highly prized collectible. This coin was struck under circumstances that were anything but unusual for modern minting practices, yet those circumstances created opportunities for extraordinary errors. In 2002, the United States Mint was operating at a high production capacity, balancing the demands of efficiency with the need for quality control. Coins were produced in massive quantities, and dies were used extensively to maintain output. With so many coins struck under high-speed conditions, even small lapses in inspection, minor imperfections in die alignment, or unexpected material defects could lead to rare errors entering circulation. The combination of mass production, high-speed striking, and human oversight created the environment in which the 2002 Liberty quarter dollar could gain an extraordinary hidden value. Condition rarity is a critical factor in understanding the 2002 Liberty quarter dollar's potential value. While millions of coins were produced, the vast majority entered circulation immediately, where they were subjected to handling, scratches, and environmental exposure. Over time, this wear significantly reduces the number of coins that retain their original mint luster and sharp details. As a result, finding a high-grade, uncirculated 2002 quarter with all of its original surfaces intact is already rare. Finding one that also contains a major error or unique anomaly is exponentially more challenging, which is why collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for such coins. Errors are central to the incredible valuation of this coin. Among the most significant and sought-after errors is the double die error. A double die occurs during the die-making process when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once, often at slightly different angles. This results in visible doubling on the coin itself, which may be found in the word Liberty, the date, or the motto "In God We Trust." True double dies are bold, raised, and unmistakable, differing from flat machine doubling caused during the striking process. For modern quarters, genuine double dies are exceptionally rare. A high-grade 2002 Liberty quarter exhibiting a double die error would instantly command attention from collectors around the world. Another extraordinary category of error involves wrong planchet strikes. These occur when a coin is struck on a blank planchet intended for another denomination or even for a foreign coin. In high-speed minting operations, it is possible for planchets to become mixed or misfed. A 2002 Liberty quarter struck on a smaller dime planchet would appear undersized, with parts of the design missing or distorted. Conversely, a quarter struck on a thicker or heavier planchet could have an unusual weight and appearance. Wrong planchet strikes are visually striking, often unique, and highly desirable to collectors. Off-metal strikes, particularly involving silver, represent one of the most dramatic possibilities for a 2002 Liberty quarter. While circulating quarters had long been composed of copper and nickel, history has shown that leftover silver planchets, experimental blanks, or foreign silver planchets occasionally enter circulation by accident. A 2002 quarter struck on a silver planchet would be a discovery of monumental significance, instantly elevating the coin into the realm of the most important modern errors ever documented. Die cracks and die breaks also contribute to the coin's potential value. Dies naturally degrade as they are used, and small cracks gradually form. These cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface and can vary in size and location. When a portion of a die breaks completely, it creates a cud, an irregular raised area where part of the design is missing. Large cuds affecting central design elements are especially rare and visually dramatic, making such coins highly desirable to collectors. Clipped planchets are another fascinating type of mint error. These occur when the metal strip used to punch out blanks is misaligned, causing a coin to be partially cut. These coins feature missing sections, which can be curved, straight, or irregular. Larger clips that preserve the date and main design elements are particularly sought after, as they are both rare and visually compelling. Broad strikes are also a possibility for the 2002 Liberty quarter. When the restraining collar fails to engage during striking, the metal spreads outward, producing a wider, flattened coin with a distorted rim. Broad-struck coins are rare and highly prized, particularly in high-grade condition, as they are immediately recognizable and visually dramatic. Rotated die errors are another factor. These occur when the obverse and reverse dies are misaligned, producing a coin with a reverse rotated relative to the obverse. Minor rotations are relatively common, but extreme rotations are rare and highly collectible. A dramatically rotated die on a high-grade 2002 quarter would significantly increase its desirability and potential value. Strike-through errors occur when foreign material interferes with the coin during striking. Debris such as grease, metal shavings, or cloth fibers can leave impressions or voids on the coin's surface. Some strike-throughs are subtle, while others dramatically alter the coin's appearance. Each strike-through is unique, adding to the individuality and collectability of the coin. The theoretical valuation of $1,044 million for the 2002 Liberty Quarter represents the extreme upper boundary of what might be possible if a truly unique specimen were discovered. This would likely involve a combination of factors, including rare or previously unknown error types, exceptional preservation, flawless surfaces, professional authentication, and undeniable provenance. In such scenarios, traditional pricing methods are irrelevant. Value becomes a function of rarity, prestige, historical significance, and collector desire. Provenance is particularly significant for coins of this magnitude. A coin with documented history, a known discovery story, or an association with a specific event gains cultural and historical importance that cannot be measured solely by metal content. Provenance can transform a coin from a valuable object into an iconic artifact. Authentication is crucial for coins with potential valuations of this scale. Techniques such as precise weight measurement, metal composition analysis, dye diagnostics, and high-resolution imaging are employed to confirm authenticity. Professional grading services provide standardized evaluation, encapsulation, and protection, offering credibility and confidence for collectors and institutions. Preservation is equally critical. Even light cleaning, polishing, or improper handling can irreversibly damage a coin's surfaces and drastically reduce its value. Original surfaces and mint luster are sacred in numismatics. Coins that survive untouched for decades, particularly modern coins intended for circulation, are rare and highly prized. The Liberty Quarter Dollar of 2002 symbolizes more than a monetary instrument. It represents hidden potential, modern rarity, and the unpredictable nature of value. It reminds us that extraordinary opportunities can exist in ordinary places and that history is sometimes hidden in the details of everyday objects. This coin challenges the assumption that modern coins cannot hold extraordinary value. It proves that even in an era of mass production, errors, anomalies, and human oversight can create treasures of immense importance. The story of the 2002 Liberty Quarter encourages collectors and enthusiasts to look closely, pay attention to details, and appreciate the subtle signs that indicate something extraordinary may be present. As you reflect on the story of the 2002 Liberty Quarter, consider how many similar treasures may still be waiting to be discovered. In drawers, jars, forgotten collections, or among loose change, remarkable coins may lie unnoticed, waiting for someone with the curiosity and expertise to recognize them. Patience, observation, and careful attention to detail are often the keys to uncovering these hidden possibilities. Thank you for taking the time to explore the remarkable story and potential of the Liberty One Quarter Dollar from 2002. May it inspire you to look more closely at the ordinary objects around you, to question assumptions, and to appreciate the incredible value and hidden histories that can sometimes be found in even the most familiar items.